That chair, that feeling of settling, of not having to try, of everything being just enough. That feeling is the most dangerous place a young man can live. Not because comfort is bad. Comfort has its place. But because comfort when it becomes a permanent address, stops being rest and starts being regression. Comfort rest ചെയ്യാൻ വേണം, താമസിക്കാനല്ല. രണ്ടും തമ്മിൽ ഡിഫറൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. അതറിയാത്തവർ അവിടെ താമസിക്കുന്നു. We are going to talk today about what your comfort zone is actually doing to your brain and the exact architecture to dismantle it permanently. I want to describe the comfort zone to you, not metaphorically, precisely. Your comfort zone is a set of behaviors, environments, and true patterns that your brain has classified as safe and familiar. Inside this zone, your brain operates a low-threat state. Minimal cortisol, minimal effort, minimal growth. The problem is not that it's comfortable. The problem is that it's shrinking. Every day you spend entirely inside a comfort zone, the zone itself contracts slightly. Activities that used to be normal becomes effortful. Social situations that used to be easy becomes mildly anxiety-inducing. Challenges that were once manageable becomes overwhelming. The comfort zone is not static. It is a living psychological territory. And it either expands through challenge or it contracts through avoidance. ഈ നേരം നിങ്ങൾ ഇരിക്കുന്ന സ്ഥലം അതൊരു കൊല്ലം മുമ്പ് പുറമായിരുന്നു. Which direction is yours moving? Here's what I observe in young men from Kerala and GCC that I want to name directly. A very specific comfort zone trap that is actually reinforced in our community. I call it the stable suffering trap. It goes like this. The situation is not great. The job is not fulfilling. The routine is not inspiring. The life is not what you imagined, but it is bearable. And bearable in a culture that values stability above almost everything is enough to stay. Because the alternative, risk, change, uncertainty, the possibility of a different outcome that is culturally coded as reckless, as ungrateful, as destabilizing. You have a job, you have a health. What more do you want? And the answer, the true answer, is I want to become what I'm capable of. I want to find out what I'm actually made of. I want to live a life that I chose, not the one that I default into because I pass was of fleet resistance. Okay ആണ്, പക്ഷെ ഓക്കാവാൻ വേണ്ടി മാത്രമല്ല ഞാൻ ജീവിക്കുന്നത്. അത് പറയാൻ കരേജ് വേണം. The stable suffering trap is held in place by two things: the fear of being worse if you change, and the social pressure of appearing ungrateful for what you have. We are going to dismantle both today. Let me exactly explain what happens inside the brain in the comfort zone and why exit feels so threatening. Your brain's default program is to minimize uncertainty. Uncertainty activates the same neural circuits as threat. The moment you seriously consider making a change, leaving the stable job, learning a new skill, having a difficult conversation, starting something new, your brain generates what neuroscientists call anticipatory anxiety. This anxiety is not a signal that the change is dangerous. It is a signal that the change is unfamiliar. Your brain cannot distinguish between this is generally risky and this is just new. Both produce the same chemical signature. So every attempt to exit the comfort zone is met with biological alarm that screams, stop, go back, this is not safe. And here's what it makes worse. The longer you stay in the comfort zone, the more sensitive this alarm becomes. Each time you back down from a challenge, you are training your nervous system that challenges should be avoided. The threshold for what counts as too threatening is lower with every retreat. ഒരു ചുവട് പുറകോട്ട് വെച്ചാൽ അത് 2 ആവും. 10 ചുവട് വെച്ചാൽ അത് 10 ആവും. അത് കാണാൻ സാധ്യമല്ല. This is the invisible architecture of stagnation, not one big failure, 1,000 small retreats, each one training your brain to make the next retreat easier. The exit from the comfort zone is not dramatic. It doesn't require a leap of faith. It requires a series of small, deliberate steps into mild discomfort, consistent enough to retain the alarm. The hard truth is this. Comfort zone is not protecting you from failure. It is protecting you from finding out who you actually are. Because on the other side of a comfort zone is not success or failure. Those are outcomes. On the other side is information. Information about what you're capable of, how you handle your pressure, and what you're willing to build, who you become when things are difficult. And most men will never have the information. They will live their entire lives with a version of themselves that was never fully tested, never fully revealed. And that, the unrealized potential, the unlived life, is the deepest form of regret. ജീവിതം തീർന്നാൽ പിന്നോട്ട് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു എനിക്കതറിയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അത് നോവാണ്. Even I have seen who carry the heaviest weight in the 40s and 50s. It is not the men who tried and failed. It is the men who never tried, who played it safe, who stayed in the stable suffering. Don't let that be you. Expansion architecture. 3 zones, 3 practices. Zone 1, the stretch zone. Daily practice. Every day do one thing that is mildly uncomfortable, not extreme, mildly. The key word is mildly. Research consistently shows that optimal growth happens just outside the comfort zone, not far outside. Far outside is overwhelm. Just outside is growth. Examples for a daily context. Speak first in a meeting instead of waiting. Call instead of messaging. Ask a question you normally swallow. Start the task you have been postponing for 3 days. Hold eye contact 3 seconds longer than comfortable. Small. These seem small. They are not small. Each one is moved for a different nervous system. One that treats mild discomfort as normal rather than threatening. Zone 2. The challenge zone. Weekly practice. Once per week, do something that genuinely challenges you at the skill or social level. Apply for something. Reach out to someone you admire. Attempt a task you don't know how to do yet. Present something. Commit to something publicly. ആഴ്ചയിൽ ഒരു ചാലഞ്ച് എല്ലാ ആഴ്ചയും അത് ചുമക്കുന്നവർ ചേഞ്ച് ആവും. Zone 3. The threshold zone. Monthly practice. Once someone do something that represents genuine leap, something that you would have said, I am not ready 6 months ago. Conversation you have been avoiding for a year. Decision you keep postponing. The commitment that has real stakes. The threshold zone is where ideas happen. Not in the stretch zone. That's where skills are built. In the threshold zone, the fundamental belief of what I'm capable of changes. And once that belief changes, the comfort zone never fully contracts to its previous size again. The shift I'm asking you is from identity to I am who is discomfort as data. The second identity doesn't seek danger or chaos. It simply treats the uncomfortable feeling, the tightness in the chest, the resistance to beginning, the desire to postpone as useful information rather than a stop sign. That feeling now means this is where something is being built. And with this identity walks towards the feeling rather than away from it, not because he's fearless, but because he has learned what the feeling produces when he moves through it rather than retreating from it. I want you to close your eyes for a moment, not literally, but imagine. Imagine yourself 1 year from today. You took the expansion architecture seriously. Every day mildly uncomfortable, every week genuinely challenged, every month one real leap. The person you are in that image, how do they carry themselves? What do they know about themselves that you don't know yet? What have they built? What have they survived? That person is not a fantasy version of you. That person is the result of consistent small deliberate movement into discomfort over these 65 days. Completely possible for you, starting from this week. അവൻ ഞാൻ തന്നെയാണ് ഞാനിപ്പോൾ തുടങ്ങുന്നു. Today's action. Identify a zone 1 act for today. Something mildly uncomfortable. Something you would normally postpone or avoid. Do it before this evening is over. Comment zone 1 and tell me what your discomfort act is today. I want to see it. Saturday's video, money mindset. Specifically, why most young men from our background are financially unconscious and the exact mental rewiring required to change that. One of the most important videos of the series. Don't miss it. Your comfort zone is not your home. It is the ceiling of your current belief about yourself. Rise through it.